Joining us now to fill us in is John Maginnes. He is a former PGA Tour player and host of Maginnes on Tap at the PGA Tour Network and on Sirius XM Radio. Hello, John. How are you, sir?
Steve, I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. All right. So the weather really messed things up yesterday during round one, correct?
We had two delays. One about 3.5 hours on Thursday morning. While the morning wave was out there, they split the field in half, and you have a morning tee time on Thursday or Friday and an afternoon tee time on the other day. So the afternoon wave was also affected by rain that did not finish. They were back on the golf course at 7:15 this morning, and those players are finishing now. The players who finished yesterday are teeing off. Phil Mickelson, the leader, is actually on the first hole as we speak. They should be all caught up by late tomorrow afternoon, and the final round will take place, and we will have a national champion on Sunday.
How did Tiger Woods manage to how has he managed to be in the clubhouse, if I'm correct, from both rounds so far already?
He shot 73 in the opening round, which is 3 over par, even par in the second round. He's at 3 over, which obviously sounds terrible, but in perspective, only Phil Mickelson and Nicholas Colsaert are under par. So it seems likely that Tiger will be in contention going into the weekend. Tiger will need a fantastic third round. History tells us Tiger needs the lead to win a major. He's had the lead going into the final round in all 14 of his major championship triumphs. So I would expect Tiger to be quite aggressive on Saturday.
And he was not affected by the rain yesterday. That's why he's finished both rounds already at this point today.
You're right. He was out late yesterday afternoon. He played 10.5 holes and had 8.5 holes obviously left to play, or 7.5 holes left to play this morning. He did that and then was right back out on the golf course for round two.
All right. Now, isn't it, well, maybe not, I mean, because of the weather and all, but is it unusual to have only one or two players under par after one round, or, even after two rounds, as some players have made it to this point?
Well, the U.S. Open is the toughest test of the year. They take great golf courses like Marion and then add teeth and high rough, firm greens, very fast greens, penalizing rough and circumstances for these guys. So the USGA, which is the governing body of professional of golf in the United States, this is their championship. They want it as tough as possible. The players know it. I was fortunate enough to play in a handful of these, and it is the toughest test you will ever face in golf. And so, at the end of the week, even par could win. 1 over was the winning score last year at the Olympic Club in San Francisco.
Any surprises? Luke Donald was the early leader. Now you mentioned Mickelson teeing off for round two. Any dark horses that you see that might also be in contention as we head into the late part of the weekend?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that there's obviously names like Mickelson and Luke Donald that are more familiar to non-golf fans than, say, a Billy Horschel or even a John Senden, right, who isn't 1 over. But these are veteran players. They're guys who know how to win on the PGA Tour. This is one of those events, though, that tends to weed out the faint of heart, if you will. Yeah. And I expect the biggest names in the game to be a factor on the weekend.
Let me ask you, and we're talking to John Maginnes here on the Steve Malzberg Show. What does this mean to Tiger? I mean, obviously, it would mean a tremendous amount if he wins. But at this stage, regaining the top ranking and all that, I mean, are people now kind of expecting him that he should be all the way back, that he should be winning these majors? Or, I mean, I know that's unrealistic to think you should win a major, but nonetheless, are the expectations now so high that he really does need to step up and, if not this tournament, certainly win majors as we go from here?
Well, it's been 5 years, believe it or not, since Tiger has won a major championship. There's only one player in history that has more
Right.
major championships than Tiger, and that's Jack Nicklaus. And Tiger has been telling the world since the early or the mid '90s that his goal is to pass Jack Nicklaus's record of 18. For Tiger, 5 years is 5 years. I mean, in the last 5 years, we've elected an African American president twice since Tiger won a major championship. I mean, 5 years is a long time, and I think the next one will be the second most important major championship victory in Tiger's career, if there is a next one.
And the most important was what? The first one?
Yeah, the first one, and when he won in 1997 at Augusta,
right,
and blew away the field and really announced his dominance, which lasted for the better part of a decade.
Absolutely, and the only reason I bring it up, though, John, is because, he has roared back in the rankings, and people are saying Tiger's back, and he's cemented or reestablished, I guess, relations with many of the sponsors who dropped him. So, people are saying Tiger's back, but he's got to get all the way back, I guess, to really be back.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because this year he's won 4 times on the PGA Tour. He had never won 4 times before.
Right.
Before the U.S. Open, but he has, and that's a strange sort of dynamic to have all of that going on, and yet struggling a little bit in the majors. Now, 3 over par is in contention, but it seems likely that for Tiger to win this golf tournament, he's going to have to do it from behind. And that's not something we've seen a whole lot from Tiger in majors.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of the U.S. Open, and we'll speak again, sir.
Thank you very much.